Okay, I think we should be live. Yeah, we're live. Okie dokie. Yeah, man, just a quick little stream. Not really done one for a little while, so thought we'd do a quick live stream, talk some boxing, talk some bullshit, all that good stuff. You guys know how it is, man. No real set topic. I've put Pacquiao Spence in the title, but whatever goes, really. It's one of those ones, man. It's one of those. You guys know how it is. Big up to Dead Game Boxing. Big up to you, sir. Hopefully you're doing well. Haitian Sensation Promotions. Big up to you as well. He says Manny Pacquiao's going to get robbed. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I mean, if I'm Al Heyman, I would much rather Errol Spence win that fight. In regards to business, he's younger, got more miles on the clock, so it's possible. All I'm hoping for is a good competitive fight, fair fight, and may the best man win. Looking forward to it, man. I think stylistically, those two styles should gel really well. Errol Spence, for the most part, is very aggressive, likes to march forwards, apply pressure, work that body. He'll try and break you down. And Manny Pacquiao, as we know, still a great offensive fighter. So put those two guys together, I'm sure we're going to get a great fight. So, yeah, man, hopefully both guys are fit, healthy, and we get a great fight. I like both guys, as you know. I prefer Manny Pacquiao. You know, the guy's a legend, but I like Errol Spence. Outside of Manny Pacquiao, Errol is definitely my favourite welterweight, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, man. Big up to Carlos Mendoza. The referee's going to let Spence fight dirty, and he'll get the robbery. Interesting. Big up to James Lorde. Turn up. Exactly, man. You got to turn up sometimes, man. But yeah, the last few weeks, I'll be honest, I've really been struggling with kind of covering boxing. There's not really been too much that's taken my fancy and interested me. And not only that, man, this whole YTBC thing sometimes is just a complete dumpster fire, if I'm being honest. But we're gonna, yeah, man, we are reinvigorated for boxing talk right now. So I do aim to upload more videos in the next few days or so, kind of thing. But you know, some of the shit takes on boxing I hear, man, is crazy. Like this whole Canelo Caleb Plant situation, it's just fucking crazy. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Big Pacquiao fan here. I think he gets stopped. You could be right. Eventually, Father Time has to play its toll, right? Eventually, the wheels are going to fall off. So, is this the fight? It's possible. It's possible. We shall see. It's going to be very interesting. Hope Pacquiao does what Martinez did to Williams. Only way he's going to win is by KO. You're probably right, to be honest. I mean, look at the Manny Pacquiao-Keith Thurman fight. To me, that fight, yes, it was competitive, but there's no way that fight was a split decision. No way in hell. No way in hell Keith Thurman had a case for winning that fight. I thought it was a competitive fight, but a clear Pacquiao win. I think I had it 8-4 for Manny Pacquiao plus for knockdown. So, yeah. Spencer's about to kill Pacroids. Pactard's going to cry. Big up to Darius, the PBC man. Did you see the Michael Hunter fight? I've seen highlights. Hunter did what he needed to do against the less than stellar opponents. Hunter got the knockout. I presume he looked good. On to the next one. I mean, the guy he was fighting looked like fucking a bootleg Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, yeah, I mean, Michael Hunter, I was a big fan, but you know, that whole situation with Hrgovic has really put me off, but he's a good fighter. He's going to give a lot of guys problems. I don't like what he did in regards to Hrgovic, but I do rate Michael Hunter still as a fighter. I think he's good. I do believe he's good. Does Eddie Hearn miss Sky Sports? DAZN flopped on Saturday, man. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a while, James. It's going to take a while until they get their shit sorted. They're going to experiment with a few things, I would imagine. But in regards to previous Saturday, I felt that the fights were okay. They was decent for what they were, a good domestic show. But in regards to like the punditry, the presentation and whatnot. To me, it was no different to Sky Sports. It was the same old, dick sucking, cheerleading agenda. It was what it was, man. It was what it was. I'm surprised that 3 Americans will get 3 medals in boxing. Yeah, you guys are doing well. You guys are doing well, Brandon. Yeah, a good year for America in the Olympics. I tell you what, big shout out to Richard Torres. Richard Torres in 2019 got brutally knocked out by Bakhtir Jalolov, who he's actually fighting in the final, but he got iced in that fight. And I wondered whether he would come back, but he's come back strong. He beat Kunkambayev in the semi-final, looked good doing it. So, yeah. And Richard Torres is the first US super heavyweight to medal since Riddick Bowe. So, when Richard Torres turns pro, a lot of money is going to be thrown at him. An Olympian super heavyweight medalist, he's going to get a lot of money thrown at him. But, yeah. Very happy to see America doing well in very happy to see America doing well in boxing. Good for the long-term game, I agree. And I do rate you guys, I'm sure you guys know, I rate Keyshawn Davis extremely highly. I think he's very good. I miss Mr. Bean. I told everybody Andy Lee and Mike Costello were shills. We'll see about Mike Costello. Congrats to Great Britain's Pat McCormack, Ben Whittaker becoming silver medalists. Yeah. I'll tell you what, shadow boxing, I think Pat McCormack is going to struggle as a pro, just how I see it. I'm not sure he's got the style that's going to translate. Ben Whittaker, I suspect, will be the best pro out of all of those Olympians. That's my hunch. I think Ben Whittaker could do very well. I think Ben Whittaker, he's got an interesting style. He's very athletically gifted, very awkward, and he's got that kind of showmanship about him. I think Ben Whittaker will do very well as a pro, both in terms of finances, and I think he'll do well in his career. So we'll see what happens. Fraser Clark, that's a wait and see type of thing, but I think Ben Whittaker's going to do well. And I said that before the Olympics. Yes, big up to John Gonzalez in the chat. Salute to John. Yeah, Maya Jama calling Tommy McCarthy, Paul McCartney killed me off. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Again, I've got love for Maya Jama. The things I wouldn't do to her is a short list, but yeah, she was fucking up, man. She was fucking up. Yep, Jalolov, Cruz, and Albert all going to win gold. Yeah, I agree. I like Andy Cruz as well. Andy Cruz looks very fucking good. Richard Torres is like Andy Ruiz 2.0. Hopefully he wins a gold medal. Yeah, he's got his work cut out, Brandon, against Jalolov. Of course, he lost to him back in 2019, got brutally knocked out, but Torres has definitely improved since that fight. So I'm pleased to see a US super heavyweight do well, to tell you the truth. But yeah, big up to John again. Go USA. We're going to win 3 silver medals, in my opinion. You could be right. Yeah, exactly, AA. Exactly. You don't win silver, you lose gold. That's true. Richard Torres could be the next star, but anybody beating Jalolov is a big ask. Yeah, Jalolov over a 3-round fight is extremely hard to beat. Southpaw, 6'7", crunching power, lovely movement, good technical skills. Over 3 rounds, it's gonna be very hard to beat Jalolov. It's gonna be very hard. As a pro, how well's Jalolov gonna do? I think he'll do okay, to be honest, but we shall see. It's always hard to tell with heavyweights. Can see Pat McCormack getting sparked at Euro level. Jakov Gospic, I agree. I think it's going to be a case of Josh Kelly 2.0. Personally, that's how I see it. I've heard all of this hype about Pat McCormack, and listen, he's a great amateur, but I've never seen this guy who's going to turn over to the pros and do very well. Not convinced by Pat McCormack at all. Yeah, Andy Cruz, very good. Yeah, and I liked the guy who beat Ben Whittaker. He looked fucking great. I think he's a 2-time gold medalist now. The guy who beat Ben Whittaker, he looked very good. If he could turn pro, that'd be amazing. Exactly, that's true, AA. Salute to Felipe in the chat. Big up to Felipe. I've seen you here for a few streams now, Felipe. So much respect for the support. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it's greatly appreciated, man. So big up to Felipe. Yeah, Jalalov's knocking everybody down. Could be the next Vladimir. Yeah, he's gonna be. Listen, man, he's got a lot of ability. So, like I said, southpaw, good mover, hits hard, great timing, good technical skills. Bakadir Jalalov he's looking good. Yeah, that's true, Nordic. Every big man who can punch is the next Vladimir, laugh out loud. True, yeah, it's true. I agree, Felipe, yeah. I've been impressed with Torres in these Olympics. I think he's got a lot better, but like you say, you've got to make Jalalov a favourite in that fight. But yeah, big up to Nordic Warrior, man. Salute every single time. Not seen you for a while, bro, so hopefully you're well. Hopefully you're keeping well in these crazy times. Yes, I certainly believe 2021, I think this crop of fighters is better than 2016. I mean, if you look at 2016, it's only really been Lawrence Okole who's really kind of achieved anything. Joe Joyce as well, to a lesser extent. But apart from Joe Joyce and Lawrence Okole, these other guys haven't really been moved quickly at all. So, and I was saying this on Twitter, yeah. Now Top Rank have got this deal with Sky Sports. I hope a lot of these Olympians sign with Top Rank because to me, in terms of matchmaking young fighters, to me, Top Rank are the best. Matchroom are great at promoting, hyping guys up and whatnot. They're great at building events, but I'm not convinced by Matchroom in terms of building prospects and giving these guys the right fights at the right time. So I want to see some of these guys turn pro with Top Rank, to be honest. I don't blame you, Nordic. I don't blame you, to be honest. In regards to boxing, I've really been I've been tuning out a lot recently, Nordic. I've been doing my thing, uploading the odd video, but I've not really been watching many videos, to tell you the truth. Yeah, Arlen Lopez and Iglesias are fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. One thing I've noticed actually in the last sort of 5, 6, 7, 8 years, the Cubans that I've seen in the amateurs seem to be now in like their styles now look like they could translate to the pros a lot better, in my opinion. You know? I'm looking forward to yeah, I mean I've not really been watching much of the Olympics. I've caught up today with a few fights, but yeah. Jalalov is more exciting than boring ass Vladimir Klitschko. We shall see. I mean, Vladimir Klitschko had a very long career. We'll see if Jalalov even gets to that level. But I don't blame you, Nordic. Salute to Dell. Speaking of Josh Kelly, he's really gone into hiding since the loss. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. And to be honest with you, G-Man, I mean, I'd do the same. To tell you the truth, Josh Kelly's got a lot to work on, man. He needs to get his head down and work in the gym because right now he's on a one-way ticket to nowhere. Oh, Josh Kelly. Will some of the Olympic crops sign maybe with Sky and Cohen for the exposure? Maybe. That's going to be very interesting. It'll be interesting to see whether Sky make a big push for these Olympians, try and build a new stable kind of thing. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Again, you know, I've got my problems with Matchroom. I've never said they're bad promoters. They are very good at what they do in regards to building hype and building shows, but I've never been convinced that Matchroom are great in regards to building prospects. I question how many guys in Matchroom actually know boxing and who follow boxing from top to bottom. You know, even the quality of matchmaker. I guarantee you, put me as matchmaker for Matchroom, these prospects would be getting tested a lot better and they'll be going a lot further. I truly believe that. I think the standard of matchmaking in the UK in particular is terrible for young prospects. You know, but it is what it is. Yeah, Galal Yafai, another one. Yeah, Galal Yafai, he's got a pro style, LT. He's got a pro style. There's no doubt about it. I agree, Nordic, and I agree with your take on Josh Kelly. it's all style over substance. If you look at the fundamentals, there's really not much there. Quick twitch muscle reflexes, some flashy punches here and there, but, you know, I don't believe he's got a great ring IQ. His basic fundamentals are not great at all. And yeah, I agree. I don't think he's going anywhere. Fight Camp's killing the vibe recently. We took Sky Sports for granted for production and professionalism. I mean, listen, I don't think Sky Sports were all that professional, but the production value was better. I'll say that much. Yeah, exactly, James. I don't mind Josh Kelly going into hiding. Go soul search and leave Adam Booth. I agree. I agree. Yeah, Matchroom, great at promoting prospects, but matching them is different. We have so many from Rio 2016 still doing nothing. Most are with Hearn. Exactly. Like, the only one who's truly succeeded, I guess you would say, is Lawrence Okole. Joe Joyce has done okay, actually, as well. But apart from those two, I mean, the rest of these guys have been disappointing, to be honest. I thought Josh Kelly would be... Sorry, not Josh Kelly. I thought Joshua Boatsi would be so much further ahead than he is right now. Yeah, that's true, Copendo9. Not Sky per se, but, you know, like Ben Shalom, whatever his name is, Ultimate Boxer, the guys they're working with now, I wonder whether they're going to try and sign some of these guys. Ben Whittaker can't go to DAZN, surely. I mean, me personally, I think Ben Whittaker, if I was Ben Whittaker right now, I'd be looking at Top Rank. I'd be looking at Top Rank. That guy's got the person... He's got the... I think he's got the swagger kind of thing, like the personality to really translate well in America kind of thing. But we'll see. Whether Jalalov has a great career is not what I said. I simply said he's more exciting than boring Vladimir. Don't put words in my mouth. I mean, watch Vladimir's first 7 fights as a pro. They was all knockouts, brutal knockouts. So, again, we can't say Jalalov is more exciting than Vladimir when we've not got the same subject, like we've not got the same amount of material to really research and look into that. You know, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Kelly was very poorly managed and doesn't strike me as somebody with a lot of competence. Yeah, I think you're right. Oh yeah, Josh Kelly should change trainer. He needs to work on fundamentals and get his game together. I agree. Second place is just a first loser. I agree. I agree. And it was refreshing to hear Ben Whittaker say that. So he got the silver medal, and like the commentator guy or the interviewer was saying, "Oh, congratulations for getting silver," and he wasn't having any of it. He basically said the exact same thing. I came to win gold. I didn't win gold. I feel like a failure. And for a British fighter to say that was refreshing to me, because we hear all this fucking narrative about how all of these guys are so brave in losing efforts. I get sick of hearing it. It was refreshing hearing Whittaker say that he felt like a failure. And I don't mean that to gloat or take the piss, but that's the attitude you're going to need to get better, you know, in the long run. So, yeah, big up to Ben Whittaker. Who do you have on Anthony Yard, Lyndon Arthur 2? Controversially, Anthony Yard. I felt Anthony Yard threw away the first fight. I had the first fight a draw personally. I know a lot of people disagree, but I think Anthony Yard threw that fight away, because when he actually put his foot on the gas in the last couple of rounds, he was hurting Lyndon Arthur. He was hurting him, you know. And I think if Anthony Yard comes out in that fight more purposeful, more aggressive, with more authority, I think he beats Lyndon Arthur, and I think he knocks him out. I think he knocks him out. The thing with Anthony Yard, in my opinion, obviously the guy started boxing late, but it's clear the guy's a good raw talent. He's got things to work with, but I just don't think he's been coached right. I really don't. But I think he'll beat Lyndon Arthur in the rematch. Maybe that's controversial. Having seen DAZN pundits, it's making me think that Sky BS bias was more because Hearn wanted it. Sky were never that bad back in the day for bias. Exactly. Team GB taking all of the amateur boxing money and still not delivering, considering how much they spend. That money is meant to be spread throughout the amateur scene. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it's been a decent games, but I can't see us getting a gold medal. I mean, who is there left? Galal Yafai? I don't think Galal Yafai is going to win a gold. He's decent, but not gold medal standard. Big up to Duck. That's true, Duck. Yeah, I mean, he got his tactics wrong, but it's whether he learns from that is the key. At the end of the day, it's whether he learns from that. And what he said after that fight was kind of encouraging to me. We'll see though. Ultimately, time will tell. Time will tell. Time will tell. Thoughts on Yard versus Arthur, Smith Fowler both being on October 9th. Intense beef. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I do like the Yard Arthur rematch. I want to see it. I don't think the first fight was like it wasn't a definitive result in my opinion. So I think we need a rematch. Fowler versus Liam Smith. I'll watch it, but I don't really care. I'll decide on the night what I watch, but I kind of want to see Anthony Fowler get beat up, so maybe I'll watch that fight. I think Yard beats Arthur by KO. He needs to be more aggressive and let his hands go. I agree. Yard had only a jab the whole fight, and Yard looked clueless. If he actually let his hands go, he wins. Maybe, but I don't think Lyndon Arthur is like he's not that sort of guy. He's a technical guy, likes to box behind the jab. I think if he opens up, he could get knocked out. I don't rate Lyndon Arthur's chin. I saw him hurt against this Ghanaian dude, Emmanuel Anim, back a couple of years ago. He got hurt by Yard. I think if Yard opens up and really puts it on him, he'll knock him out. Lyndon Arthur, to me, he's a nice technical boxer, but I just don't rate the guy like that, to be honest. Not that I rate Yard extremely highly, but I think if he puts his shit together, he should win that fight. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right, Nordic. Maybe you're right, but I think Yard wins it. Yeah, Liam Smith, Anthony Fowler's a good fight. I agree. It's the sort of fight Anthony Fowler needs. Again, another one of these 2016 Olympians who's basically been treading water for 4 years. The only fight that guy had, which was worth a damn, was Scott Fitzgerald, and he got put on his ass and lost, right? Apart from that, he's done fucking nothing. So it's time we fucking throw this guy into the deep end. Liam Smith is exactly that. Liam Smith at this point is a good European level fighter and a gatekeeper to world level. That's the sort of fight Anthony Fowler needs right now. If Anthony Fowler could do a job on Liam Smith, that's a good win. That's a good win, and it gets him on the right track. So it makes sense. I'm looking forward to it. Right now, I'd lean towards Liam Smith, though. Yeah, Lyndon's going to need to hurt Yard. I think if he tries punching and moving, he'll get caught. I agree. Yeah, War Kisniak. Yeah, I hope Kisniak turns pro. Alexander Kisniak. Yep, I hope he turns pro. He's got the style for it, the Ukrainian gentleman. I'm not sure, Duck, man. I think Galal Yafai is decent, but I'm not sure. I just don't see a gold medal standard fighter there. Maybe that division's weak. I'm not sure. I've not really been following it like that, to tell you the truth. But I'm more excited about Galal Yafai in the pros. I do like his style. Yeah, Ben Whittaker thought like he was the better fighter, more talented, better fighter. So yeah, the coach let him down. That Cuban wasn't giving his antics any notice. Yeah, you're never going to fucking beat a Cuban like that in the amateurs. Yeah, his tactics were wrong. There's no doubt about it. And he clearly lost. He got outclassed. But I think Ben Whittaker's going to do okay in the pros. Do you know who Ben Whittaker reminds me of? A little bit, James DeGale. He's got that awkward sort of style. I think that's going to give a lot of guys problems in the pros. If Ben Whittaker has a decent chin, decent power, and a gas tank, I think Ben Whittaker's going to go far. I really do. I really do. Oh yeah, I saw it. It was kind of cringe. Pimp my sniper. It was kind of cringe. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's true. But again, it's a 3 round fight, isn't it? It's a 3 round fight. So we'll see. We'll see whether that translates to the pro ranks. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, sick of all that plucky Brit loser. It's all about taking part shite. I agree. We hear too much of that. And that's the way this country is going, not just in boxing, but just life in general. Participation trophies. There's got to be winners and losers. If you don't know how it feels to lose, how are you going to win? How are you going to win? There's nothing worse in this world, than being a person who doesn't really know what it feels like to lose or win. Because if you don't know either feeling, you've lived your life a coward, right? So yeah, I mean, it was refreshing to hear Ben talk the way he did, in my opinion. Yeah, Tunde clearly thought Yard could do little and still win. He's so overconfident, it's crazy, yeah. Again, I think that's another thing. If there was anybody else in that corner, Yard would have won that fight. I truly believe that. I don't think Lyndon Arthur's that great at all. I mean, he could be a cop end. I'm presuming he's got Hispanic descent, and he's going to attract that audience with a medal. Super heavyweight, I think he'll do well. He could do, yeah, he could do. Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry, I worded that comment wrong, Dale. Meant to say if Yard lets his hands go, he wins because Arthur had nothing but a jab. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Yard has overachieved massively from where he's come from and his skill set. Yeah, grifted a lot. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he turned to boxing at 17 years old, had like, what, 17 amateur fights? So considering that, he's a lot further ahead than he should be. But, when I look at Anthony Yard, he's clearly athletically gifted. He's clearly quick. He hits hard. He's got the fundamental, not fund. He's got the basics down pat. I think if he had a better trainer, he'd be a lot further ahead. Because I think Anthony Yard is one of those guys who is probably a quick learner. If you get a world-class trainer in the gym teaching him new things, I think he'll pick a lot up. Again, I'm not saying Anthony Yard would go on to be a world champion or anything like that, but I think he could be a good contender at least. Not seen him. I think he's enjoying his money, Stefano. Yeah, exactly. Fraser Clark was very happy to get that bronze by disqualification. Yeah, Fraser Clark, I mean, what's he, 29, 30 years old? I'm not really excited by Fraser Clark, to be honest. I think he's an okay amateur. I thought he would win bronze. He did, but the way he won it wasn't really satisfactory, was it? So we'll see where Fraser Clark goes. We'll see. I think he could be a fun fighter, but who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? Del, I'm curious to know why you're so opposed to female boxing. Let's say it reached the levels of female MMA. Would you continue to ignore it? Yes, I would. I just don't like the product. I don't find the fights entertaining or interesting. I just don't enjoy it. I just do not enjoy it at all. It is what it is, man. I just don't enjoy it. It's one of those things, man. Every time I watch it, it's a chore. When there's a card on and there's fights I want to see, and then there's a female fight, I find it a chore. I don't enjoy it at all. And I think, listen, you may enjoy it, other people may enjoy it, but I think the majority of people who watch boxing do not like female boxing. I think a lot of it is forced. I think a lot of it is just a PR exercise, to get PC brownie points. That's all it is. Because when I watch boxing with like real people, let's say there's a Joshua pay-per-view, we buy the pay-per-view, and there's Katie Taylor on the undercard, the whole room, and these are casual fans, there's a collective sigh of like, why the fuck do we need to watch this? And that's including from women as well. So I don't think the growth of female boxing is natural at all. I think it's forced. Are there people who enjoy it? Of course. But I would say the majority of boxing fans can't stand female boxing and would like to see the back of it. That's how I feel personally. If you like it, fair enough. But it is what it is. It's one of those things. It's one of those things. G-Man, I still need to look at that documentary, but it's on my list. I've been doing a lot of research for the second channel. So basically, Fight Camp, I felt the fights themselves were actually okay, to be honest. A good domestic show. I enjoyed Tommy McCarthy, Chris Smith, good fight. Leewood Kanzu, good fight. Jack Colin Yildirim, I enjoyed. So the actual fights themselves weren't bad, but the punditry, the production wasn't great. That's what I will say. Exactly, yeah, 13 amateur fights, exactly. So he's done well considering. To be honest, LT, I wasn't really scoring it, but to me, looking at it, it looked like a fight that could go either way, either a draw or a point either way. One of those sort of fights. Triller last night decided not to broadcast the best fight on their card in Eric Walker versus Ivan Gulub. Instead, they showed a 3-0 prospect fighting a can. Yeah, there you go. Michael Lespierre, I believe. Evening, Dell. Hope you're well. I'm very good, Boxing Squared. And I'm sure all of you guys have heard of Boxing Squared. Massive channel. The biggest heavyweight channel on YouTube. Covers every sort of heavyweight fight from top to bottom. If you've not checked him out, check him out. One of the best channels on YouTube. Been subscribed for a long time now. I always say the story about Boxing Squared. I first found this guy's channel doing a prospect breakdown of LaRon Mitchell back in the day. So I've been subscribed a long fucking time. Great channel, man. Great channel. Would you rather see females kissing or fighting? Oh, kissing, 100%. 100%. Yeah, with Katie Taylor as co-main event, yay, world title fight, exactly. Again, I'm not a fan of it. To me, it just doesn't seem natural. I just can't get into it. If I ever fucking... I just can't get into it. I'll leave it at that. And that's another thing, right? When you look at female MMA, right? If you look at the athletes in that sport, they look like athletes. I see so many female boxers. They don't even look like athletes. They look like the regular girl who goes down the gym. They don't look like athletes either. Look at go and watch a fucking UFC weigh-in for females, and compare the athletes how they look. I know it's not all in the looks, but the MMA females, they look like athletes. Whereas a lot of these boxers, they've got fucking stretch marks. They look like a fucking state, to be honest. They look like an absolute state. I'm just not a fan. I think the quality of athlete is very low. The quality of competition is very low. The quality of skill set is extremely low. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, do you think I can sit through Clarissa Shields for 10 rounds tickling somebody to death? Not interested. Not interested. I'd rather watch Dave Allen fight fucking David Howe for a 4th time. There you go. I don't mind female boxing that much, but I have an issue with it being pushed on every card. It's so clearly forced, and some of the fans of it are just pissed off feminists. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, G-Man, I agree. See, again, I'm not a fan of it, as you know, but I wouldn't have a problem with it if it was like the odd Katie Taylor fight here and there, or something like that. But like the likes of Shannon Courtney and these bum-level fighters, it's like, man, it's not for me. Agreed, I can't stand it at all. I don't want to watch it. It's so annoying when they put female boxing just before the main event. I want to see. Why not just do female boxing cards and then everyone is happy? There you go. You know why they won't do it though, Duck? Nobody would fucking watch it. That's the truth. Very few people would watch it. In my opinion. Again, test it out. Test it out. Exactly, Nordic. I had Billum Smith winning 7 rounds to 5. Yeah, man, it was that sort of fight. 7 rounds to 5 either way. A draw, maybe. Based Cuba. Yeah, big up to Based Cuba. I'm going to start supporting these Cuban guys. Salute to Cuba. Who do you think would be a good trainer for Ben Whittaker as a pro? I'm thinking Shane McGuigan. That's a hard one, you know. When I look at Ben Whittaker, he doesn't look like a Shane McGuigan type of fighter to me. Because Shane really is like a boxer puncher type trainer. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure with Ben Whittaker. I'd say maybe go abroad. Maybe try and do something a little different. His style is not really British kind of thing. I don't know. I'm not really sure. That's a good shout. Now that's a good fight. He's a Shepherd of Sons. Whittaker fights like a poor man's Cuban. Send him to Ishmael Salas. That's a good shout. So Delt is a misogynist confirmed. I mean, you could say that, I guess. If you want to say that, I guess I'm a misogynist. But no, I just don't enjoy it personally. I just don't enjoy it. And again, I think a lot of this adulation for female boxing on the YTBC on social media, a lot of it's contrived, forced bullshit. People are just looking for likes and brownie points from the PC brigade, in my opinion. I'd rather see a good competitive area level fight instead of female boxing. I'd rather see Dave Allen make a comeback fighting fucking cans, to be honest. Yeah, MMA females at least wrestle. I guess that's kind of good to watch. Yeah. And but again, like the quality of athlete is so much better in UFC. It's so much better. They look better in not I'm not talking about like sexually either. I'm talking about in terms of like the athletic look. They look better, they look faster, they just look better. They just look better, man. And again, MMA is a much younger sport. It's more popular with a young audience. There's more scope to add the female aspect to that sport because it's such a young sport. It's in its infancy. There's no real massive history to MMA. Boxing traditionally is a working class man sport, and a lot of fight fans feel the same way. Personally, like it is what it is. It is what it is. Do you feel the same way? Sorry, do you still feel that way when you have these really talented female fighters coming through? Like, I understand from a point of view of not enjoying the ones with lower skill. I mean, even the ones people say with, like, let's say, for example, people say Katie Taylor has this amazing skill set. I'll be honest with you, Will Stokes, all I see is a slapper with no punching power, quick hands, but no real athletic ability, no strength. Like, she's a slapper. There's no real technique there. To me personally, it looks horrible. It looks ugly to me. It just looks ugly. Fury doesn't look like an athlete, but he moves like an athlete. He fights like an athlete. Like that, Shannon Courtney doesn't even fight like an athlete. She fights like somebody outside a kebab shop on a 3 a.m. morning in fucking Huddersfield. Do you know what I mean? But I've seen Mikey Garcia put guys to sleep for like 2 minutes straight. Again, it's like, not really, man. He made that decision, James. Bad matchmaking, no doubt about it. But yeah, I don't feel sorry for him at all. He could have fought Kid Galahad, fought his Mando, and he wouldn't be in that position. Even if he lost on points to Kid Galahad, it wouldn't have looked as bad as him getting squashed by Lara. I'd rather watch Easter Jr. versus Barthélemy over women's boxing. Facts. I agree. Again, I'm not. See, again, I'm not shaming anybody for watching female boxing and enjoying it. That's your choice. What I would appreciate as somebody who doesn't enjoy it is to not always like people will try and shame you for not liking it or not watching it or not supporting it. I'll never support it on this channel. If I ever support it on this channel, flag all of my videos and get my fucking channel terminated. That's what I'll say, because I'd have sold out at that point. I just don't like it. I find it weird that men follow women's boxing. It's like non-league football, 2-minute rounds and limited skill set. Imagine if you made videos on women's football. Exactly. You'd be clowned. You'd be clowned. He's fighting, what's his name? Jack Catterall, his Mando. You know, something that Tio might not do against Cambosos. Who knows? Easter versus Barthélemy was worse than any female fight I've ever seen. I'd rather watch that fight than Courtney versus Bridges. I'm not even guessing. What's your opinion on the narrative that Hearn is trying to push for? What's your opinion on the narrative that Hearn is trying to push on Santa Cruz getting stripped by the WBA of his super title to get Leewood upgraded? I have to say I agree. What are those WBA clowns doing? I mean, yeah, Leo Santa Cruz should have been stripped a long time ago, to be honest. He's not fought at that weight for 2 years, whatever it is, and he's not defended his title. So yeah, he should be stripped, but at the same time, why not try and make Leewood Leo Santa Cruz? Why not? I mean, it is what it is, really. It is what it is. If Ann Wolf was still fighting, I'd watch, I guess. Nah, I'm not sure, man. Remember that triple header of female fights with Katie Taylor? When Katie Taylor headlined Sky, yeah, Sky had to make it free on YouTube, and then Bragg did good numbers. They have to make it free just to get views. Exactly, bro. Like, do you think they would have done that with like a card with Joshua Buatsi and fucking Anthony Fowler, like a regular Sky Sports card with someone like Buatsi? Do you think they would have made that free? Of course not. And I get they're trying to grow the sport. I get that, but again, to me, it doesn't seem natural. It doesn't seem organic. It's extremely forced. It's extremely forced, in my opinion. Yep. Women's boxing is only there because it's cheap and suits the agenda for Eddie Hearn. Ebony Bridges is the biggest manipulator too. Those matchroom simps. Again, I don't blame Ebony Bridges. If I was her, I'd do the exact same thing. I don't blame someone like Ebony Bridges for doing what she does at all. You know, she's catering to the lowest common denominator, I guess. You know, guys see a pair of big tits and they lose their minds kind of thing. If I see a bird with big tits, I'm not going to really want to see her fight, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. People have their own preferences, I guess, right? It is what it is. Oh, yeah, Ben Whittaker links up with Ben Davison. Stick a jab out and move. Shoulder roll off the ropes, exactly. Don't forget the feint, Ben. Don't forget the feint. Yep. Yeah, Santa Cruz should have been stripped ages ago. Exactly. I agree. See, I guess that's, you know, all down to our social circles, I guess. But for me, every time I've kind of watched boxing in a crowd, most people don't enjoy it, man. Like even in pubs, yeah. If you guys ever watch boxing in a pub, let's say a big fight, and you're watching like a lot of a card, like when a female fight comes on, everybody kind of just looks away from the TV and does their own thing. But when the main event comes on, everybody's glued to the TV. I'm just going by examples I've seen in real life, my experiences with it, and my own personal view of female boxing. And again, it wasn't that long ago the likes of Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren were saying they're not going to promote it because they knew at that time the audience wasn't there. There was no desire to see it. Is there more of a desire to see it now? Yeah, no doubt about it. But is it as big as they make out? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, Sugar Hill could be a good shout. Shadow boxing. Sugar Hill could be a good shout. Exactly, G-Man. Exactly. I agree with that. I had high hopes for that Irish team that turned over. Conlon, the two Tyrones, Tommy Mack and Paddy Barnes. I think they wasted too much time in the amateurs. I agree. Joe Ward was another one, but he obviously got injured very early in his career. And now that there are really legit talents coming through, it makes for a legit makes for legit fights. Been watching loads of female boxing in the Olympics, and there are some mad talents for real. I'm not convinced, man. I'm not convinced. Big up to Crazy D3. Big up to Intangible Boxing News. Salute to you, sir. Do you think Taylor ever truly beat Pursoon? I only watched. Hang on. I watched the first fight, and I felt she lost. I'm not even sure whether I watched the second fight, to tell you the truth. I'm not even sure whether I watched it or not, but I felt she lost the first fight. See, I actually watched that fight, and again, to me, it just looked like a scrap. It's amazing how Yildirim went from fighting in Miami to Eddie Hearn's backyard, and lost in Eddie Hearn's backyard as well, man, getting outboxed by Jack Cullen. Christ. Yes, I could sit for a Savannah Marshall fight, I guess. At least she gets stoppages, at least. So she ends it quick, I guess, man. Facts. See, I literally heard people say Katie Taylor would beat O'Hara Davis. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Joe Laws beats Katie Taylor. I agree. Nokashanti Joy would break Clarissa Shields' crooked teeth. No idea who that is, man. I swear I saw a Dave Allen interview on Fight Zone about a month ago at one of their events where he hinted he was actually going to come back and try and go fight for the British title, one fight at a time. Yeah, I mean, Dave Allen, I'm not really interested in Dave Allen, but we'll see where he goes, man. He'll win a couple of fights against journeyman. He'll get thrown in there by with a killer, and he'll get fucking beat up again. Dave Allen at this point in time needs to really probably pack it in. He's taken a lot of punishment already. He took a beating against Luis Ortiz, Tony Yoka, Dillian White. I mean, David Price, he made David Price look like the next coming of fucking Larry Holmes. David Price was out there fucking throwing the jab, pulling the shoulder roll, looking like a 6'9" Money Mayweather. Like, Dave Allen needs to leave it alone, honestly. But, we'll see. Have you seen Roger Gutierrez versus Rene Alvarado? If so, who do you think wins the trilogy? Yeah, that second fight was fucking great, Geo Park. The second fight was great. From what I remember, Rene Alvarado was pushing the fight. He was he had the better work rate. But Gutierrez was the boxer puncher, and he dropped Alvarado a couple of times. It was a great fight, man. I think in the third fight, I might favor Gutierrez to win again, to be honest. But that's really a pick'em fight, in my opinion. Oh, he's fighting some Slovak at the end of the month. Okay. Exactly, Will Stokes. Josh Taylor doesn't cherry pick. Murat Gassiev, Dave Allen, that's a fight to make. Why not? I'd watch it, but I think Dave needs to retire, man. In all seriousness, I don't like Dave Allen that much, but for his health, he needs to retire. I loved watching David Price beat the absolute dog shit out of Dave Allen to where they had to get the oxygen out and send him to the hospital. That was brutal, man. That was absolutely brutal. Good fight. I'm looking forward to this one. Virgil Ortiz versus Mean Machine's going to be a war. I wouldn't be surprised if Ortiz gets brutally knocked out. It's a good test. And I tell you what, I really like the way they've been moving Virgil Ortiz. Slight step-ups each time. The last 2 years, the matchmaking has been very good. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Can Virgil Ortiz do a better job than Terence Crawford? Can he do a similar job, or will he do worse? We shall see. It's going to be a great fight, man. Listen, Kavalauskas can really punch. He's a strong dude. Women's boxing is absolute garbage. I agree. And that's one thing. Listen, man, you can cuss for PBC all you want, but at least they don't push female boxing. I'll say that much about the PBC. Big up to Al Heyman, Uncle Al. Thank you, Al Heyman. Is Franco versus Maloney 3 clashing with Casemiro Rigondeaux? If it is, I'm watching Casemiro Rigondeaux. Ebony Bridges is the women's Muhammad Ali. Gareth A. Davis. Gareth A. Davis, man, he's such a fucking creep, honestly. He's such a creep. I guarantee you, man. If I was a female, yeah, and I was working a show with that guy, bro, I'd be so concerned, man. I'd be so concerned. I'd have my fucking rape whistle ready, man, honestly. That guy's a fucking creep. Which trainer's best for Richard Torres? Freddie Roach, Roberto Garcia? I think Freddie Roach these days is now a bit too old, to be honest, Brandon. I think a few years ago that would have been a good fit. I think maybe Garcia would make sense, but he's not really got experience training heavyweights. I mean, who's a really good heavyweight trainer in the States? I'm not sure, you know. That's a real good question. I'd be tempted. I'm not sure whether Richard Torres can speak Spanish, but I'd be tempted to say go to Reynoso, to be honest. Exactly, AA. See, I don't really follow Ade all that closely. I'm subscribed to his channel, but I only watch the odd video now and again, so I'm not really sure on that. See, I loved it when Ade was on Box Talk with Ryan. That was a great channel, man. Yeah, probably. I'm the same, Brandon. I'm the same. I just don't enjoy it, man. And again, if anybody does, do your thing, enjoy it, talk about it, all that good stuff. I'm not judging anybody for liking it. The only thing I don't like is, and it's only a few, but like there's certain female boxing fans who really kind of try and shame you for not liking it, man. That's the only thing I don't like. But Avni Yildirim was subpar against that guy in fight camp. It should have been a nice tune-up for him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, journalism in boxing has downgraded a lot in recent years. Setback and Gareth are two great examples of that. Both of them are fanboys who repeatedly speak a load of rubbish. I agree. And that's the reason I've never really wanted to do interviews on this channel, because in boxing, you know how boxing is. It's a small circle. And to get anywhere in boxing journalism, you've really got to suck dick and toe the line to really get anywhere. You can't really ask any genuine questions about certain situations, why a certain fight didn't happen, or about drug testing, or whatever, or about bad decisions. You can't ask these questions, because if you do, you're going to get blacklisted and you're not going to get any interviews. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Oh, that's a good fight. I'm glad you mentioned that. Junto Nakatani versus Acosta on the Valdez card in September. That's going to be a great fight. Yeah, that's the main event, LT. That's the real main event on that night. That's a great fucking fight. I made a video about Junto Nakatani a few months ago. I think that guy is very good. I think he's a very interesting fighter in that weight class. He's huge for that weight class as well. I think Nakatani, man, Nakatani's a bad boy, man. He's a bad fucking guy. He really is. I want to see Nakatani versus Julio Cesar Martinez. That'd be a great fucking fight. See, Martinez is one of my favorite fighters in boxing, but I'm not sure whether he beats Nakatani, to tell you the truth. That'll be a war, though. That's a great fight, LT, though. Acosta's a good puncher, hits very hard, former world champion, experienced, but I'll go Nakatani. If Dave Allen gets injured, I've got no sympathy, and I'm a very sympathetic person. Ego is why he's back and plays the victim, and now what he thinks now he thinks he's better than ever. He'll end up getting hurt by somebody. Yeah, exactly. I thought that I would have thought the David Price fight would have been like a warning to him. Yeah, true that. Yeah, Dave, I'm 2 fights away from Joshua Allen. Can you imagine, LT? If he beat fucking David Price, he would have fought Povetkin. Can you imagine? I'll tell you what, man, he would have got seriously hurt, put it that way. Even a shot Povetkin would have seriously hurt Dave Allen. Yeah, Alan made Price look like a prime Klitschko. Yeah, he made Tony Bellew's premonition come true. Tony Bellew years ago said that David Price was the next Vitaly Klitschko, right? The heir to the Klitschko throne was his words. And Dave Allen made Tony Bellew right that night. Crazy. FA Jagba versus Dave Allen, can you imagine? Massacre. Absolute massacre, G-Man. Dave Allen, if he fought FA Jagba, he'll be on my second channel. He'd be on my second channel. But yeah, FA's fighting Frank Sanchez next. That's a great fight. Looking forward to that. Babbage versus Dave Allen, I'd watch on a free stream. I'd watch it. I want to see Babbage fight David Price. That'll be hilarious, man. That'd be hilarious. I think David Price beats him. PBC are going to be the first ones to promote transgenders in boxing, Vodell. We all know Al Heyman loves them. Allegedly. Oh, yeah, the Phoenix tattoo. Yeah, Gareth A. Davis loved that, man. He loved it. He loved it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, G-Man. The guy's a slime ball. That guy's a creep, honestly. He might be worse than Adam Smith, LT. He might be worse than Adam Smith. So, yeah, I agree, Will Stokes. I was picking Kunkumbayev to beat him as well, to tell you the truth. But yeah, Torres has got a lot better. Is it true FA Ajagba knocked out Fury in training? That's why he had to delay. See, I heard it was the other kid, Jared Anderson, the American dude. I heard he put hands on Fury, and that's why they delayed. Is that true? Who the fuck knows? It could be true. You never know, but it could be true. If you had kids, who would you trust more to look after them? Adam Smith or Gareth A. Davis? Damn. Gun to my head. I might say Adam Smith, you know. I'd say Adam Smith. Now, do you know what? I'll say Gareth A. Davis, actually. A lot of hype about Tank versus Furman. As interesting as that sounds, wait until it ends up being Tank versus Berto, exactly. Yes, let's get it. Arslanbek Makhmudov versus Dave Allen. That'd be brutal. Big up to Lewis in the chat. Big up to Lewis every single time. Yeah, Jonathan Rice beating the crap out of Coffey was a good watch too. One hit wonder. Yeah, Jonathan Rice is what I would call he's a proper journeyman in the heavyweight division. He's not a world beater. And if you're a prospect worth your salt, you'll beat him. But Jonathan Rice is one of those guys where if you're not good enough, he can expose you, kind of thing. That's what a real journeyman is. You know, if you're not good enough, he's going to expose you, kind of thing. So big up to Jonathan Rice. The heavyweight division in these guys like Jonathan Rice. I love Fight Camp. I think it's such a well-designed product. It has me so hyped for different weekends. I mean, I think the whole Fight Camp gimmick was really good first time around when there was no live crowd, like no audience allowed. I think it made sense then. But this time around, it just feels like a gimmick, to be honest. I'd rather have just seen it in an arena, to tell you the truth. That's just my opinion, though. Yeah, it makes sense, G-Man. Makes sense. Oh, big up to J-Dav. Now J-Dav's going at G-Man. J-Dav's out here fucking starting rumours, but I like fat girls. Now he's out here going after G-Man. Big up to J-Dav, though, man. Sandy Ryan. Who's Sandy Ryan? I know the name. Sandy Ryan. Is she cute or not? Not for me, no. I'd say no. Just had a Google of her. Yeah, good little fight while it lasted. Do you think Rob McCracken has not taken AJ to his potential, to his full potential? I'm not sure, really, E-Machines. I think Joshua right now is pretty much as good as he's going to be. What's he, 31, 32? I mean, he started quite late to boxing at 18. I think Rob's done a pretty good job, to be honest, with Anthony Joshua. I think he's done a pretty good job. Could somebody have done better? Maybe, but I think he's done a good job. Oh, facts, yeah. He would have seriously hurt Dave Allen, Povetkin. Exactly, Geo Park. Yeah, because now Johnny Rice, he's going to get some more fights, more paydays, and he's always going to go in there and give it a go or make it a hard night for the prospect. So, yeah, the heavyweight division needs guys like Johnny Rice. Helenius Kaunaki 2 prediction, repeat or revenge? I got revenge. I've got a funny feeling Kaunaki's going to do it. If Kaunaki can get past like the first 4 or 5 rounds, I think he can take Helenius into a bit of a scrap and drown him. To be honest, it's a good fight though. It's a good fight. Joshua's going to use Allen for a comeback opponent after Usyk is done with him. Oh dear. Edwin Valero versus Ryan Garcia would probably end up in your second channel. Yeah. If only we got to see how good Edwin Valero could have been. If only. Man, Edwin Valero was a fucking killer, man. Absolute killer. Who knows, man, where that guy could have gone. He would have been in some great fights at lightweight, super featherweight, lightweight. Could COVID Povetkin versus CTE Dave Allen win a fight Shannon Briggs? I'd still take Povetkin, man. Nordic, man. Fury's getting fucked up in sparring is more than believable. Fury getting fucked up in sparring is more believable than the COVID being the cause. I agree. I'm not sure on that fight yet, Will. Joshua Usyk. I'm not sure on it. Who the fuck's Chris Whitty? I know that name. Who the fuck is Chris Whitty? Chris Whitty. Oh, I know who that guy is. That fucking lizard-looking fucking cretin. That Tory. He's a fucking hideous, cretinous individual, man. If any fucker looks like a lizard, it's this guy. Look at this. He looks like a fucking alien, man. Yeah, I wouldn't trust him. Oh, sorry. I don't know, man. I don't know about Dave Allen, Will Stokes. I think he's taken a lot more out of the sport than he's given, to be honest. It's not... Listen, man, with Dave Allen, I'll put it this way. It's not his lack of skill that kind of puts me off. It's the lack of application with Dave Allen. He's had so many opportunities on big cards, pay-per-view cards, and basically every single time this guy turns up out of shape, fat, overweight, and after the fact, he always makes an excuse for why he didn't perform. To me, that's unforgivable when you're getting that many chances and you can't even owe it to the fans to turn up in shape. I think that's a joke, to be honest. Like, you'll never hear me hating on Sam Eggington, for example. Not a great fighter by any means, but every single time, win or lose, he'll come in there in shape and he'll give it a go. As the old British saying goes, he'll always come to fight, win, lose or draw, and he gives it his all. I can't say the same for Dave Allen. I can't say the same. The guy's had so many opportunities and he's just pissed them away. You know, it's one of those things. You know, it's like Gabe Rosado. Rosado's got how many losses now? That guy could have 25 losses, but I'd always watch that guy fight because I know he's going to go in there and do his best, and he's going to go in very in shape. So yeah, Dave Allen, not for me personally, not for me. Yeah, Dave Allen is shot to pieces. I think he'll get knocked out by the first guy with a heartbeat he fights. His last few fights were fixed as well. Yeah, that Dorian Darch fight was super, super weird, man. You had it spot on you had it spot on in the video about the zone, Little Boys Club. Yeah, that's the impression I get. It's not really changed from Skyle that much, in my opinion. We are slamming Alan because we don't want to see him brain damaged. No one said that he's a scumbag. Yeah, all I'm saying is, listen, I joke and whatnot, but genuinely, I don't want to see the guy get hurt. And when you're approaching boxing the way he does, you're going to get hurt. As I said, doesn't take boxing seriously. You know, he doesn't turn up in shape. He's going to get hurt that way, man. He's going to get hurt. Providing Price doesn't get stage fright, he definitely ices Babic if they fought. Would be a fun fight for sure. I agree, man. Let's get it. Be a great fight. Be a great fight. Hey, Matt. Sorry, hey. Who doesn't like a chubby girl now and then? Ah, dear. You don't like fat girls, Del? I've read different in your reviews on the web. Matchroom cards are rubbish. Hit and miss, man. Hit and miss. Maya Jammer's introduction with Bellew on the Fight Camp broadcast was absolutely horrid. Almost made me turn off the entire thing right there and then. Yeah, Maya Jammer needs a lot of work, man. She needs a lot of work. Kaunaki needs to get JD's as a trainer if he wants to achieve his full potential. He'll get him doing those fucking yoga splits, lose some weight, be more agile in the ring. You might be right, Lewis. You could be onto something. Oh yeah, Pacquiao Spence undercard is painfully average. That is true. On that card, we've got Victor Ortiz versus Robert Guerrero on the Pacquiao Spence undercard. Both of those guys are shot to bits. It's almost so bad I expect a good fight, to be honest. I think it'll be a fun fight. I'll be honest, yeah. I'm actually somewhat looking forward to it. Robert Guerrero versus Victor Ortiz. It'd be fucking funny as hell. Babic versus Allen is a genuine 50-50 fight. I don't rate Alan Babic at all, but I think he'll beat Alan comfortably. Supposedly Usyk is like 229 pounds in his Insta. He looks like he's put on the weight nicely considering he last fought at 98 kilograms. Yeah, he's looking quite healthy, Usyk. Looking strong. Looking very strong. Big up to Mad Chad Boxing and Sports. Very good channel, by the way. If you've not checked out Mad Chad, mad boxing fan. Mad as a hatter, but a fucking great dude, man. Full of enthusiasm for boxing. Great channel. Every single time I'll big up Mad Chad, man. Great channel. Great fucking channel. Exactly, Will. And at the end of the day, whether it's likable or not, whether we identify with him or not, it's only going to lead to him getting hurt in the long run. It's only going to lead to him getting hurt. We saw what happened in the Lewis Ortiz fight where he split his tongue and he was actually talking about the injuries after that fight. He was suffering for a few weeks after that fight. Then there was the David Price fight where he got put in hospital and he was seriously worried about his health. So it's only going to go one way if this guy continues fighting with his current attitude. And with the amount of time that's gone, I can't see him changing that attitude, to be honest. So I'd rather him just stay retired. He's made some good money, got a couple of houses, call it quits. As Porky would say, take it as severance pay, get out of Dodge. Yep, Usyk versus AJ, tickets sold out quicker than a Beatles concert. Yeah, man, it's a great fight. It's a great fucking fight. It's a great fucking fight, man. I'm glad it's doing well. I'm glad to see. I'll be glad to see fans there. Exactly, Alex Black. I like Sam Eggington as well. See, I've got no problem with Sam being on TV. I've got no problem with it whatsoever. The guy tries hard, he trains, and he's good fun. On a domestic card, Eggington is good fun. No problem with Sam at all. Yeah, Alan is a nutbag, not a scumbag. He's the representation of who I don't want to be. That's a very good comment, Hidden Ape. Very good comment. That's the best way I could say it. You've nailed it there. You've absolutely nailed it. Because Dave's got a lot of traits which could take him a long way in life. He does have charisma. He is a good communicator. He's not a stupid individual. He's one of those guys who could, if he put himself to it, he could probably achieve a lot in life, and he has already to a certain extent. Don't get me wrong, but like he could do a lot more than what he's doing, in my opinion, with the tools he's got. Not necessarily in boxing, but other avenues. Exactly, yeah. Fat bottom girls, they make the rock and roll go round. For fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. The Polish butterbean, Adam Kalnacki. See, I like Adam Kalnacki. He's a good bit of fun. He's a good bit of fun. Ortiz versus Guerrero is like a Mexican version of Khan versus Brook. Do you know what, though, Crazy D3? I'm somewhat looking forward to it. I'm somewhat looking forward to it. Because listen, man, they're both shot to bits. Their punch resistance gone out the window. They've not fought in a while, but it'll be a fun fight for what it is. It'll be a fun fight for what it is. Thinking of exposing Dell's chubby chasing ways in his comments on his second channel. Exactly, bro. Yeah, don't say that on the second channel, man. Some girls might get in some silly ideas, man. Looks like mandatories will block Soto versus Kayaguchi unification. Shaking my head. I've not seen that, to be honest. I know they was planning that fight, so that's a bit of a bummer. I would have picked Kayaguchi to beat Soto as well, to be honest. Oh yeah, Dave Allen took so much punishment in that fight, G-Man. So much punishment. I've not seen it, LR. I've not seen it. Exactly, Mad Chad. The Big Cheese, listen, he's not the greatest fighter in the world, but he turns up in shape. He's got a great gas tank and come to scrap. He's good value, like you said, on a pay-per-view undercard or even like a domestic card. Ted Cheeseman, great value. Great value for money. No doubt about it. And he's come through a lot, Ted Cheeseman, you know? He's come through a lot. Like, he kept his gambling addictions pretty quiet when he was going through it. After he beat it, he opened up, but, you know, he wasn't like Dave Allen, who kind of constantly talks about his struggles while he's going through them, kind of wallowing in his own self-pity. Ted Cheeseman had his ups and downs, got through it, and now he's in a better place, and now he's talking about it, kind of trying to dissuade people from going the same way. You know, I can't hate on Ted Cheeseman. With both of them being retired, who had a better career, Luke Campbell or Martin Murray? Martin Murray, without a doubt, in my opinion. Martin Murray, in my opinion, beat Sergio Martinez. He should have been a middleweight champion. The Felix Stern fight was close. I felt a draw was fair. To me, Martin Murray had a better career. I felt Martin Murray. I felt he did better at world level in comparison to Luke Campbell. Like, even the Arthur Abraham fight was pretty close. It was competitive, you know? So I'd say Martin Murray. Not as talented as Luke Campbell, but I think he had a better career. I always felt for Martin Murray, to be honest. That guy, man, literally wasn't scared of anybody, that guy. And he got no respect in the UK at all, Martin Murray. It's funny, you know, we hear this. It's almost become a meme at this point. Oh, he was so brave in a losing effort. If I were to say that about anybody, it'll be Martin Murray. Like, genuinely, against Golovkin, that guy could have swallowed it so, like, he could have fucking quit about 6 rounds in, but he never did. Like, he took a fucking beating in that fight, and he kept on coming, kept on coming. Same with George Groves. He took a fucking beating and came on strong at the end. You know, that guy was a trier, and he should have been a world champion as well, Martin Murray. That guy's a trier. Going to Argentina as a fucking Englishman, that's insane. Absolutely insane. That Martin Murray was a fucking warrior. Absolute warrior. Yeah, in all seriousness, Dave Allen shouldn't go anywhere near a boxing ring again. He already sounds halfway to being permanently punch drunk. He needs to stick to punditry or horse racing, gambling, fuck's sake. Oh, yeah, that'd be amazing if Ted Cheeseman could win a world title. I can't see it happening, but it'd be nice. Kaunaki is a big baby. It's fun seeing him hit the canvas. Big up to It's the House. You catch Torres versus Kunkumbayev. Yeah, I was very impressed with Torres. Very impressed. He's come a long way since 2019. When I saw him get knocked out by Jalalov, he's come a long way. And like I was saying earlier, he is the US's first medalist at super heavyweight since Riddick Bowe. So when that kid turns pro, there's going to be a lot of offers for him. A lot of offers. So he looks good. He looks good. And I like his style as well. He's aggressive. He hits hard. I like him. I like him. Is Joyce versus Chisora realistic? I don't think so. It sounds like they're going to make Parker versus Chisora. So I don't think so. But if that fight falls through, then yeah, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. Anonymous. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Eggington's a legend for the Malignaggi fight. That was hilarious, man. That was hilarious. Good fight. I think it's a decent fight, JDav. Peter Milas, unbeaten dude, prospect. It's always good seeing two prospects match off with each other. I think Tony Yoka should win and win relatively comfortably, but it's always good to see two prospects fighting. But you're right. Tony Yoka, since he's turned pro, has never really got going, to tell you the truth. And his last couple of performances against Deweko and who was the other dude? Christian Hammer. He's not really looked impressive. Who would you trust to take care of your dog, the Tories or Labour? Christ. Well, the Tories would fucking kill it and sell it for mincemeat. And Labour would probably just fuck it. So I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm not a voter of either party, put it that way. Yeah, it's going to be a good final, Mad Chad. It's going to be a good final. I think you've got to go with Jalalov, based on what's happened in the past. But Torres has got a lot better since then. So I think it'll be a good fight. I would say Jalalov on points this time. I don't think he'll knock him out this time. Yeah, great fight, Anonymous. Brilliant fight. Absolutely brilliant fight. And yeah, Metcalf, man, he was a tough bastard in that fight. Scott Fitzgerald apparently went off the rails again. I'm certain he's getting fed to Fowler, so Fowler can avenge that embarrassing defeat. Yeah, Scott Fitzgerald, listen, as much as I like him, he's done. He's done. He's never going to really commit himself to boxing and really give it a go. He's got ability, but he's not got the mentality for boxing. He's not got the discipline. He's always out on the lash, getting in trouble, doing drugs. He's mentally, that guy is unwell, in my opinion. If you saw him he had a comeback fight recently. I forget which card it was on. I think it was Chisora Parker, but he had a comeback fight on that card. And I was watching his interviews prior to that comeback fight. And that guy was blatantly on antidepressants. He didn't sound the same. He looked different. He was just off. That guy's got serious problems, Scott Fitzgerald. He's got serious problems. I don't think that guy should be boxing, full stop, to tell you the truth. I don't think he should be boxing. He's got serious troubles. And I hope he gets through it, but I can't see it. I can't see it anytime soon. Yeah, he took his beating. He took his fucking beating. Exactly, yeah, and I agree. Yeah, Murray was fun. The Abraham fight was close. He didn't do enough. Martinez, he should have won. Shame after the Abraham fight, he was done. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Murray fought Golovkin at the peak of his powers while Canelo was throwing his belt in the trash in order to duck him. Exactly. Exactly, man. There's been far worse champions than Martin Murray. Your guess is as good as mine, Lewis. I've not really heard anything from him. Yeah, David Adelaide, strong kid, but not much else. I don't really see anything with Adelaide right now. Ah, you're a savage, Bump of K. You're an absolute savage. You want David Price to get fucking seriously hurt. Yeah, Joyce would fuck him up. It'll be a fun fight while it lasted, but Joyce would fuck him up. What's your opinion on Fabio Wardley? I can't help but think he's a knockout waiting to happen. Wouldn't surprise me if Webb beat him. Pretty decent fight. Yeah, it's a good fight. It's the ideal fight for Fabio Wardley right now. I like that fight. I would favour Wardley to win and win by knockout, but it's a good fight. But I agree. Fabio had a lack of amateur background. He only had three white collar fights, and you can tell that in his style. He's very loose, very kind of languid, and he is there for a shot. We saw that against Eric Molina. Eric Molina actually hurt him in that fight. So I think you're right. I think eventually he'll get knocked out. But for a guy who turned to boxing so late, he's decent. He's decent, but he's never going to be a world champion or anything. Who became shot faster, Matthew Macklin or James DeGale? I would say James DeGale. I would say James DeGale. James DeGale really kind of just after he fought Badu Jack, he was done. He was completely done after that fight. He took a beating against Badu Jack and he was never the same. Never the same. See, I felt Badu Jack clearly beat James DeGale. Not even all that close, in my opinion. I don't know how James DeGale got a draw in that fight. Like, even people I respect had that fight to James DeGale. I've got no idea what those guys were watching. All I saw was James DeGale started well, but after like the third or fourth round, Badu Jack just beat him up. He's beat him up. He's 6'2", I think. Will, he's about 6'2". He's not the biggest heavyweight in the world. Yeah, Fowler's going to put some CBD oil on Fitzgerald's chin. Yeah, I agree, G-Man. Fitzgerald is not looking good mentally. He should be nowhere near a ring. He's a very talented fighter. It's such a shame. Yeah, exactly. He was a good amateur, won the Commonwealth gold. But yeah, his mindset is just all over the place, man. Because he looked like a different person when he came back. He looked so... I can't put my finger on it. The only way I can describe it is he looked like the same person but completely different at the same time. Like his facial expressions, his eyes, man, it just looked like there was no one there. That's the only way I can describe it. But that guy's got serious issues. Like serious issues, not this fake bullshit. But I hope he gets better, Scott Fitzgerald. I hope he gets better. Yeah, Scott Fitzgerald looked awful in that comeback fight. Looks like he's got some serious issues, and it doesn't look like he's got the willpower or mental strength to beat his demons, which is a huge shame, yeah. I mean, that guy, man, if he fucks it up, which I think he has at this point, he would have left a lot of money on the table. There were some good domestic fights for him, man. A Cheeseman rematch, a Fowler rematch, maybe Liam Smith. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, Justice Hooney is levels ahead of David Adelaide right now. No doubt about it. David Price needs to come back. David Price needs to come back. I'd like to see him knock a fuck out Niall Kennedy. I'd be Price's #1 fan in that fight. But in all honesty, I do like watching Pricey. I agree, man. He's good fun, David Price. He's good fucking fun. Yeah, haven't really followed Fitzgerald, so maybe this is common knowledge. But anyone know what caused Fitzgerald's issues? Was it like a drugs thing or something like that, or just genetics? I'm not sure, man. But that guy is not the same. He's not right in the head. Yeah, James DeGale was never the same after facing Badu Jack, just like other fighters that faced Jack. Yeah, James DeGale, man, took a beating in that fight. I'll never understand the reaction to that fight. People calling it a close fight. It really wasn't. Badu Jack fucking beat dog piss out of DeGale in that fight. Wasn't even all that close. DeGale, like I said, DeGale started well in like the first, 3 or 4 rounds. And after that, he basically fell off a cliff and got beat up. Absolutely beat up. Big up to Triple J. Salute to you, sir. Yeah, James DeGale always fought like an idiot. Went full out for 4 rounds, throwing six punch combinations like a Rolls Royce, only to end like a Fiat holding on the dear life. Yeah, exactly. Not yet. Fight Film. Big up to Fight Film, by the way. Really good channel. Check his stuff out. Very good channel. I can see Smith versus Fowler going any way at all. I could see Smith bombing him out in like 6 rounds, and I could equally see Fowler doing the same to Smith. It'd be a good fight. It's a good domestic fight. Anthony Fowler, Liam Smith. It's a good fight. I think he'll walk through Uskatigi. Uskatigi these days looks well past it, put it that way. He's not talking about Akhmadaliev, man. I think he's done. And Scott Fitzgerald, he had his moment beating Anthony Fowler. That's really going to be it. He might come back, get himself in shape, and get knocked out by some up-and-comer or domestic rival, but he's not going to be a force at domestic level. No idea. To be honest with you, mate, I've not really been keeping up to boxing like that in the last few weeks. I only just realised there was an MTK card today with Michael Conlon. He's fighting on Friday. I've just not been paying attention that much. The fights I'm really looking forward to, and that I'm not going to miss for anything, is Pacquiao Spence, Joshua Usyk, and Ortiz versus Kavalauskas. They're the only ones I'm really hyped for. And Rigondeaux Casemiro as well. But I'm just finding it hard with these bum fights. Usually I'll watch everything, but been finding it a lot harder recently. I've missed a lot of fights, to tell you the truth. Okay, I think Fitzy had some domestic trouble regarding the custody of his kid. Okay. Yeah, Lionel Thompson, yeah. Lionel Thompson. Never even heard of it. Never even heard of it. Uskatigi could have that diver syndrome like the other Latin American. Hope not. Oh dear. Jason Rosario. See, I watched that fight with the Rosario. Who did he fight? Erickson Lubin. I watched it live, super tired. I didn't really watch any replays, but on replay, man, that guy took a fucking dive blatantly. He took a dive, let's be honest, he took a dive in both fights against Charlo and Erickson Lubin. They were so blatant, man. And both times he was convulsing on the ground. He's a great actor, Jason Rosario. Like the second fight with Erickson Lubin, the shot didn't even hit his body, hit his arm or glove. It didn't even hit his body, and he went down like he got fucking shanked. Whether he was on the take or not, or whether he just quit, who knows, but he took a dive regardless. Whether it was a quit or whether he's on the take. I can't imagine, though, them paying him twice for 2 fights in a row to dive. It's too obvious. Maybe the guy's just a fucking bitch and he's got no heart, but it was pathetic. It really was pathetic. Uskatigi looked like a beast against Errol, but he weighed in at 165 for some reason against Plant and couldn't cut the ring off at all. Yeah, maybe Darrell's uncle took it all out of him with that free shot. Maybe he turned into a shot fighter after that. Who knows? Yeah, banana. Nah. See, I could maybe give him the benefit of a doubt for the first one, but watching the Lubin fight, and the way he went out in that fight. No, that guy's just a fucking. He took a dive, man, and he took a dive in the first fight as well. That confirmed it. He took a dive. Yeah, banana splits too easy. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. I'd say Fowler. I'd say Fowler beating Smith, to be honest, because at least Fowler can punch. He can hit hard, and Liam's been around a long time now. Liam Smith. He's taken some hidings. So, yeah, I'd say Fowler beating Smith is more likely. Yeah, that convulsing was fake as fuck. Looked like a human vibrator. Bro, honestly, yeah, for that second channel, I've watched some fucked up shit, and I've never seen anybody react like that. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Mean Machine's going to KO Ortiz. We'll see, man. We'll see. Bump of K. I can't see it personally. It's going to be a good test. I wouldn't be surprised if Mean Machine maybe hurts him, gives him a couple of scares here and there, but I think Virgil should get the job done. One thing I've noticed, and I'm not saying this about you, Bump of K, but one thing I've noticed, I've heard this from a couple of Terence Crawford fans, basically saying in advance, if Virgil Ortiz does a better job, then Terence Crawford obviously took a lot out of Mean Machine. I mean, come on, man. They've been gassing Mean Machine up this whole time, so we're going to see how good he is. We're going to see. Yeah, Mean Machine. I don't think he's got the durability to outlast Virgil Ortiz. I think he'll have some success early on. He'll land some good shots. Because Virgil likes to fight too much. I think Virgil's got a lot of ability. He's got a lot of variety to his work. I've seen him box. I've seen him apply pressure. I've seen him shift to close the distance. I've seen him counter punch. He can do a lot in that ring, but Virgil's got a natural aptitude to fight and to come forwards and really put it on you. So that might lead to him getting caught a few times, maybe even getting hurt. But I think eventually Virgil's going to get him out of there. Similar area to Crawford, sort of rounds 8, 9, 10. I think it'll be a good fight, though. I think it'll be a good fight. You will have to see, G-Man. You will have to see. I think it's too soon for Ortiz, but I'm proper excited for that fight. Yeah, it's going to be a good one, man. It's a good test. It's the ideal sort of fight for Virgil right now. Sort of a fringe welterweight contender who can punch. It's the sort of fight he needs right now, in my opinion. It's going to be a decent fight. I lost $750 on Fowler. Put a bet before the 7th, and they done him in the 8th. Fucking hell. Yeah, Michael Conlon has some shady shit going on with MTK. Think they've pulled some dirty crap with that WBA interim title, yeah. Yeah, Michael Conlon, he's not good to watch. He's that guy who turned pro and he never really got rid of that amateur style. Just a point-scoring type of fighter, honestly. Just a point-scoring type of guy. And yeah, he went life and death with Buildup, like Duck said. He's going to get found out real soon. He's going to get found out. He's not got the power really to keep these guys off, and he's not got the boxing acumen over 12 rounds to outbox these guys. Good amateur, but just not a good pro, in my opinion. You know, it is what it is, though. We'll see. We shall see. But I'll watch his fight this weekend. I think TJ Dehaney is a good test. If Dehaney can kind of get back to where he was, it'll be a good fight. But I think Dehaney now is a spent force, I guess you would say. Yeah, I'd still take Lewis Neary comfortably. Just too much pressure, too much strength and power. Conlon couldn't really keep him off at all. There was so much hype for Conlon when he turned pro. So much hype. And he's not really... it's really gone stale with Michael Conlon. Because when he turned pro, I saw so many people say this guy's going to be a multi-weight world champion, a pound-for-pound fighter. Those guys don't exist anymore, people who were saying that. They're not about anymore. Anyway, guys, if you could smash the like, it would be much appreciated. If we could get to 30 likes or something, that would be pretty cool. You know what the YouTube algorithm, you know what they like, sorry. They love those likes, man. They love those likes. Our Hidden Ape, VFX, big up to you, man. Much appreciated. If you need a free custom YouTube banner graphic for Disturbed Reality, just say so. I'll keep you in mind, man. I've been thinking about that, actually, those sort of things. Like somebody made me a little intro the other day, which I've used in the last video, man. So, yeah, that sort of thing's always appreciated, bro. So big up to yourself, man. Hidden Ape, big up to yourself. Yeah, I agree, G-Man, yeah. He did. Yeah, Lewis Neri got folded by Figueroa, but I still think Neri beats the piss out of Conlon, honestly. Oh, he retired, Jamie McDonnell. He retired. He retired, man. Called it a day. Like, he was a zombie in that fight against Inoue. He was a fucking zombie. But yeah, he's retired now, called it a day. He had a good career, all things considered. Former world champion. So he did well, really, with his talent. Made a bit of money. And yeah, he's called it a day. Yeah, man, it's fucking silly, isn't it? It's really fucking silly. Got no idea how, man, but you know, it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things. I think that's really it. You just got to find a niche in some area, and there's not many niches now on YouTube. I think most things have been covered, but that was one, and it's worked out, thankfully. So, yeah, man, it's doing well. It's doing well. It'll probably get fucking iced soon or something like that, but we'll see. Did Ray Robinson deserve a decision over Mean Machine? I thought he beat Kelly, but I haven't seen his fight with Kavalauskas. I watched it way back when it happened, and I thought it was like I thought it was a draw, to be honest. I thought a draw was about fair. I felt Ray had, like you say, I felt he had a better case of beating Josh Kelly than he did Kavalauskas. The Kavalauskas fight, it was just standoffish. Nobody really forced the issue, but against Josh Kelly, I just felt he was the ring general in there, to tell you the truth. Honestly. Yeah, McDonough went from 118 on the way into 144 on fight night. Jesus. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, he got squashed in that one. He got absolutely squashed. Did Eddie sign Avanesian, McKinson, and Congo to keep them away from Ben? I think those fights will happen eventually, to be honest. I think those fights will happen. There's going to be a demand for him eventually. But I think Eddie realizes Ben needs a couple more fights before he takes on the likes of Avanesian. See, I would say personally, fight Granados next. After Granados, fight Michael McKinson. And after McKinson, fight Avanesian. I think that'll be a good road for him. You know, Granados, he is what he is, really, an experienced trial horse, been there, seen it, done it kind of thing. Fight him, beat him, fight McKinson, domestic rival, tricky dude. And if he beats him, I think Avanesian would make a lot of sense. Yeah, that's true, you know. That's definitely true. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen it time and time again. It's one of those things, though. It's one of those things. And we've all been guilty of it. We've all been guilty of looking at certain guys and hyping them up and they get fucking exposed. But it is what it is, man. I was guilty of that with, what's the dude's name? what's his fucking name? Recently got knocked out by Rosado. Melikuz, yeah, that's the one. He got fucking exposed, but I'll listen, man. I'll watch him again. I still think the guy can go a fair distance if he gets his game sorted defensively. That is, but we'll see, man. We shall see. Yeah, I like talking about crime myself. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. I've always liked true crime and horror and stuff like that. So I've always had a morbid curiosity for violence from as young as I can remember. I know that sounds like I'm a fucking psycho, but it's always been something that I've been interested in, even when I was a kid, since way back when. I've always had like a fascination with that sort of thing. I don't know why that is, but even in the sports I watch, boxing, MMA to a lesser extent, what is it? It's violence based. It's a part of my, I don't know, personality maybe. I don't know, but it interests me for some reason. Yeah, fair play. Didn't know McDonald retired after that. Hope he's enjoying life. Yeah, he made some good money. Won a world title. Disturbed Reality is going to set Dell up to buy some thick birds. Thick, not fat. Thick, not fat. Dell did some inspo for Disturbed Reality. Come from that? Sorry, did some inspiration from Disturbed Reality come from that Case File podcast? Not Case File, no, not Case File. So I was always going to do. Like, I was talking about a second channel for months and months and months before I did it, and it was always going to be something horror. Then I was talking about true crime. I settled on true crime, and then I looked really for like a niche in that area, and I saw a couple of people doing videos on like real life cases with true media, like videos of a case or of a murder, whatever it may be. Only a couple of people were doing it, and I decided to go that route, and it's worked out. I'd say Otto Wallin on points, Insect Man. Good fight though, two southpaws, be an interesting fight. Otto Wallin on points though. Yeah, the way Daenerys took those shots from Inoue compared to everyone else makes me suspicious he's on PEDs the way he carries on. More than likely he is. I mean, he's linked up with Victor Conte, a master of evading tests and whatnot. He's more than likely on PEDs, Daenerys, as most fighters are. Florian Mark, who beats them all. Big up to Hidden Ape. I don't think he fucked over Jamie, to be honest. You know, I mean, it's not up to Eddie Hearn. Listen, I criticize Eddie Hearn all the time, but it's not up to Eddie Hearn to advise these guys how to spend their money, how to invest. That's not up to him. It's his job to get them fights, get them paydays, and promote them. That's not Eddie's job. I can't really blame that on him. That's for the people around him. His family, his friends. Hire a financial advisor. Indeed. Oh yeah, he'll cause trouble, Martin. He'll cause trouble. Being a 6'7" southpaw who can move and who can punch, he's going to be some sort of trouble. How far he goes, who the fuck knows? But I think he'll be interesting. He'll be very interesting. I think he'll be avoided though. One thing I can say, it's going to be very hard to matchmake for Jalalov as a pro. It's going to be very hard. Look at how hard it's been for Filip Hrgović in regards to matchmaking. And that's going to be a problem because matchmaking in the heavyweight division is so important. I would still take Conor Benn over Florian Marku. I'd take Conor Benn comfortably, but I think Marku's good fun. Indeed, yeah, he's already had 8 fights, yeah. Yeah, like the cartel shit that I've watched, it's rough, but I can kind of deal with that sort of stuff. But yeah, there's certain things I would never really touch upon on my channel, on the second channel. I'm just going to keep it as it is right now. Cartel, war crimes and shit like that. There's so yeah, next video is going to be more than likely a cartel one again. And a video after that's going to be a war crime, Dagestan massacre, if you've heard of that. But yeah, those sort of things, man. You've got to say Joe Gallagher. You've got to say Joe Gallagher. Oh my days. Who the fuck is this? Apparently it's Shevdenko versus Truax as a final eliminator for the IBF. Who is Shevdenko? Never heard of him. And as Caleb Truax, Jesus. Is anybody looking forward to White versus Franklin on September the 11th? Surely this is only going one way. No disrespect, but from what I've seen of Franklin, he's garbage. I agree. Dillian will take him out in 3 or 4 rounds. Easy fight. Franklin is, he's poor. He's really poor. Like, he couldn't knock out Pavel Sauer. You know, the guy who Huey Fury knocked out in like 2 rounds. He's poor. He's definitely got better. Will Stokes. He's definitely got better. Because when he turned pro, I really wasn't impressed at all. But against Ryland Charlton, he was moving quite well, displayed a nice jab, some nice punch technique, the uppercut, the straight right, good counter punching. Yeah, he looked okay. Yeah, I know Gavin's doing well. Yeah, Hunter won 4th round knockout. Michael Hunter, 4th round knockout. I mean, your guess really is as good as mine. I guess it's a marketing thing, you know, getting Dillian out there in front of a US audience. Maybe it's just that. But yeah, Jermaine Franklin, again, he's basically an unbeaten record for sale. He's really not good at all. Genuinely, him versus Dave Allen would be competitive. Like, I would pick Jermaine Franklin, but not by much. And I'm not exaggerating. Go and watch the guy fight and see if I'm lying. He's not great at all. Because I always look at these heavyweight prospects, and yeah, Jermaine Franklin was, you know, all the grace and movement of a sloth. Exactly. That's really what it's all about. Yeah, I want to see it as well. That's another fight for Conor Benn, which would make sense. Marku, yeah. Get Marku a couple of more fights, a couple of more wins. It'll make sense. Like you say, the build-up, yeah, great entertainment, yeah. Big up to official scorecard boxing science. Big up to you, sir. Yeah, Caleb Truax must have some dirt on the IBF president, man. He must have some, like, dodgy pictures. Because how Caleb Truax has got a final eliminator is beyond me. And I do like Caleb Truax, you know. He's a nice dude, man. He likes it. He likes his beer. I follow him on Twitter. Really nice dude, but he doesn't deserve a title shot or a title eliminator. Yeah, it's a shit fight. They're all shit fights, Alex. All shit fights. Don Charles was Marku's trainer prior to Charlton. Of course, he's not going to learn anything. Clifton Mitchell's a nice trainer for Marku. Yeah, I mean, you know, Don Charles, I've heard a lot of good things about Don Charles from people in boxing, but the fans seem to have a really negative opinion on him, Don Charles. So I'm not really sure what the truth is with Don Charles, to be honest. You know, sometimes there'll be a trainer where his face fits kind of thing, and he'll get all of the gigs. But sometimes, you know, there are great trainers who don't really get to work with these top fighters. So who knows, man? But yeah, he definitely looks better, Florian Marku. See, that's a fair assessment, Will. That's a fair assessment. I've seen far worse, like, mandatory challengers than Dillian White, who have done a lot less. But yeah, it's not to the point where he makes out. Like, he turned down certain opportunities. You know, obviously a straight title shot at Joshua, IBF eliminator. He kind of poured cold water on a Luis Ortiz eliminator. So it's not like Dillian has gone above and beyond, and he's made certain mistakes, is what I'm trying to say. But is what it is, man. I'm sure he'll get a title shot eventually. I'm sure he'll get a title shot. Yeah, fighters that are in the IBF rankings, declining title eliminators should get removed. Yeah, Tony Harrison, I think, would beat up Ted Cheeseman. I know Tony looked bad in his last fight, but I think Tony would beat him. Might be a fun fight, though. Could be fun. Could be fun. Like the entire IBF ducking Hrgovic. Yeah, that was a disgrace. In reality, yeah, the whole top 15 basically avoided that fight. So why not just give Hrgovic the fucking position as mandatory? If nobody wants to fight the dude, it's not fair to keep this guy's career on hold. Just make him Mando at this point. He should get the Mando due to forfeit, honestly. Just make him Mando. Yeah, it was Michael Hunter, Luis Ortiz, Tony Yoka, Dempsey McKean. Who else? Martin Bacole. A lot of these guys turned it down, man. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my evening. I'm going to chill, sit back, relax, and all that good stuff. We're nearly at the end of the week, Thursday tomorrow. So, yeah, we're nearly there to the weekend. So, yeah, guys, have a good one. Have a good evening. I'm going to wrap this one up. Peace.